Now's the Detroit Jews for Justice Hanukkah Vigil. They were planning on doing it right in front of the Christmas tree, and the police moved them. So, here's our more liberal protest Sabbath. Another rabbi. These rabbis, have been taking part in protests in Detroit, been arrested even a few times. So, like the Chabad menorah where we had the mayor there, and police protection, private security. This is more like a pop-up Hanukkah celebration. And kind of like the spoil system of American free market, even in religion. So the celebration's got something to do with water rights. So it's like a Hanukkah for Justice. Generally, it's a more Repair the World focused Jewish group that focuses on helping people, political causes. One of the big issues here in Detroit is water shutoffs. Like Flint, we have the water crisis. And so we try to bring public awareness to different causes.
Maybe you should. I did not. Sure.
Okay. See what happens? Pardon me? Read some of these signs.
Hi, remind me your name.
Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Reb Duvid.
Moshe.
Yeah, Shalom. Happy Hanukkah. Just trying to get some of these signs. So you see the universal parts of Judaism, like Hanukkah, the rituals, different politics, different setups. So same, different types of Jews celebrating Hanukkah in different ways. So now the main Chabad official celebration is over. We have the Detroit Jews for Justice celebration. Talks about human rights, sing a few songs. The theme they chose is water, which I'm sure most people who know anything about Detroit, they're like Flint in the water crisis. Unfortunately, there's a lot of problems similar to Flint in Detroit. And so the local organization, Detroit Jews for Justice, that's active on different social justice issues. Water is one of the main things here in Detroit. Okay, fortunately, it's as usual, running late. There are rabbis here. Got a bunch of signs. If you're in the Detroit area, come by, take a sign, join our vigil, our counter Hanukkah celebration. Where the more liberal Chabad is very inclusive of everybody. It's a more right-wing Jewish organization, so it's more the left-wing Hanukkah celebration in the exact same area. I don't like signs, but
Okay. Hi, do you want to start?
yeah, I never hold signs. Like, never in my life I really ever held a sign at one of these events.
We got song here.
I think generally this is good for society also. These are important issues. Like, obviously people go about things in different ways. So, like, protests bring public attention, speakers. But I think, these events are largely positive also. And this type of event is probably more representative of wider American Judaism than Chabad. I mean, Chabad does a very good professional job of putting the events together, being inclusive, welcoming everybody. But the nature that they do it is not the typical nature of your secular American liberal Jew that is probably more at ease with connecting the event to liberal causes. So this is a common string of Judaism. That's this rabbi here, the woman there in the hat, is the one in charge of this Hanukkah, the one with the bullhorn. Assume she'll be starting soon. She spoke. Anyone who was watching my Pittsburgh visual, she spoke. So we have affordable, clean water. So they're not even singing Jewish songs. They're just singing like general liberal protest songs. We'll probably sing maybe a Hebrew song too, but be more like generic protest songs. That woman there is a priest in the Universalist Unitarian Church. Yep. Thanks for tuning in, Babs. Yeah, so this is our liberal counter Hanukkah. If you saw my previous, the Chabad one, which you had a lot of city leaders, business people, and the Detroit Jews for Justice chose water as their theme, which is one of our main issues. Very important issue for Detroit. Similar to what's happening in Flint is, God forbid, could happen here in Detroit. So I'm an engineer by training, so my approach to these things are different, but this is a typical approach of just bringing to light these issues, show the importance of them, show that people care about them, and hopefully we'll rally support to help better Detroit, because the clean water crisis is one of the biggest, that's what it's saying. They're trying to privatize the water.
Turning off the water. The mayor's turning off the water, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Hear that, Duggan? The mayor's turning
Hanukkah. This famous verse in Moses, justice, justice, you shall pursue, tzedek, tzedek, tirdo.
Back a little while. I'm gonna get a sign. Let me have a sign. Yes, how shall I pursue justice? Love, compassion, and liberty. Oh, justice, justice, we shall pursue. 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 Justice.
Turn it up.
No. It was on, but it doesn't seem to be on anymore.
Hello.
Yes.
So 4 years ago, a call went out that Jewish communities around the country should, on one night of Hanukkah, go outside and do demonstrations in solidarity with Black Lives Matter. And that was before there was anything called Detroit Youth Progressive. There were just a few of us having conversations about whether or not a community that was committed, deeply committed to racial and economic justice, to praying with our feet was possible in Metro Detroit. Just having conversations about it. And the call went out. And we said, well, I guess that's us. So we put it on Facebook, and 2 days later, a crowd much like this, a lot of the same faces, a lot of new faces, came to this very spot to stand together and to say Black Lives Matter. I want to say that again together right now. Let's say it with me. Black Lives Matter. Tonight we stand here for water justice, in which we all know we've been very committed to saying that this is a racial justice issue. It's an economic justice issue, it's a racial justice issue. So we continue to come together every year, every day, every week, every month that we're organized together to say Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Both issues at their core are asking the question of who has a right to life? Who has a right to life, right? And of course, I have to acknowledge that for us to stand out here as a Jewish community just weeks after the murders in Pittsburgh is a vulnerable thing for us to do. Not just because Jews being in public as Jews is a vulnerable thing to do at this moment, but because Jews who work together for social justice are being targeted right now. It's critical for us all to know that the community in Pittsburgh was targeted not just because they are Jews, but because they are Jews who are committed to justice. They were working for immigration justice in this country. And so when we come together for these issues, we know that we are not just, that we are feeling vulnerable. And I just want to acknowledge that it might feel different this year than it did last year or the year before. There's a famous machlok and a famous debate between Rabbi Hillel and Rabbi Shammai about whether or not the menorah should that at the first night of Hanukkah, which we're at, should start with one light, or should it start with 8 lights? And then you would decrease every night going forward, or increase going forward. And as you all know, as you can see, Rabbi Hillel won the debate. He said that we shouldn't decrease the light. We shouldn't decrease the light. We should increase the light. And that, my friends, is what we have been so privileged to be doing together these 4 years, is to be increasing light in our community, in our world, in our small way. And tonight we come together to rededicate ourselves to increasing light in our community. And thank you so much for coming together tonight. I'm going to pass it off for some more music and hearing from some of our water justice heroes. Yep, you do. We're in your scene for Light One Candle, our favorite Peter, Paul, and Mary.
In the orange insert.
Yeah. Light one candle for the Maccabee children. You take the light, light. Light one candle for the painted door. When the righteous was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice. Justice and freedom to bear. Light one candle for the witness to know when the secret time is ahead. Don't let the light go out. It has been so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. And light one candle for those who are suffering, faith we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in, that anger not tear us apart. And light one candle to bind us together with peace and the love in our hearts. Don't let the light go out. It's been so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. What is the memory that's valued so highly that we keep it alive and not flame? What's the commitment to those who have died when we cry out, did not die in vain? We have come this far for always believing that justice would somehow prevail. This is the burden, this is the promise, and this is why we will not fail. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out. Don't let the light go out.
Well, hold it.
Try. So we just saying don't let the light go out. I have a bit of a wind. So I can't promise that they will go out, but we're going to light them together anyway.
Anyone out?
No, didn't happen.
You probably need his. A little too windy.
We got it.
All right, we'll symbolically light them together. And we'll say the blessings now, and we'll light them for real at the downtown synagogue when the wind isn't literally blowing them out. All right? Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadliknev, she'elohanu Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
שעשה ניסים.
ניסים אבותינו.
בימים בזמן הזה.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והחיינו
Amen.
Our next speaker is still looking for.
I went to the same high school as this girl, the special Frankfurt School Freudian Training Center.
Red Roslyn Korea with Brightmore Connection Food Pantry, who just does an incredible amount of work in Brightmore, including making sure that folks have water and their water rights are protected. Roslyn works with us in People's Water Board Coalition, and we're so grateful she's with us today. Thank
This makes me tall. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
So I just need to say I'm so thankful to be in this space. I need you to know I thank you for welcoming me into your space. Eleanor asked me to speak about the water shutoffs in Brightmore. Brightmore has the highest population of water shutoffs in the city. And it's a depreciated, disenfranchised community. A depreciated, disenfranchised community. The highest population of water shutoffs in the city is done in Brightmore. And they have a new strategy going on in Brightmore. In Brightmore, when they turn families' water off, they come out with protective services. So they take the children at the same time. Yeah, so that's a big issue, quite naturally. And I thought it interesting that you invite me here on the day that the candle, the lighting of the menorah, when we need to shine more light on the families being disenfranchised with water in Brightmore. That's a huge issue. To make that as worthwhile, we're celebrating the oil not running out. The water in Brightmore has run out. There's no water for anyone over there. Families have to depend on a watering station and depend on neighbors. But it's even more tragic when you're afraid to tell someone you need water, because to get water for your children to survive means you have to put your children's survival in jeopardy and not be taken away. No parent should be placed in that situation.
Right.
No one should have to deal with that. No one should wake up and try to decide, can I get washed up today or do I drink water today? That's not a fair decision to make. Oftentimes I'm in spaces where I'm arguing with corporate funders and they're telling us, well, we can't get anybody to work or they don't show up to work on time. Well, you can't show up to work on time when you're trying to find water to wash up with. That's right. You can't get to a job on time when you're trying to get your children cleaned up for school so that the teacher doesn't ask them, do you not have water? And at the end of the day, they go there. That's the fear people in Brightmore live in. The Brightmore Connection Pantry, we have a watering station which is supplied by we the people. And we can't keep water in there. There's not enough water, as you well know. Water is not a privilege. It's a right. We have to debate the issue. Water is what we need to survive. When we start taking water away from people, basing it on their income, because that's what it boils down to. The narrative that's constantly out there, they're wasting money on cell phones and airwaves or whatever they're saying the new narrative is this week. Nobody is doing that and not caring for water. Water costs more than all of that together. Right. In Brightmore, water is shut off for as low as 38 cents. If you lack 38 cents when you pay your water bill, your water shut off. Right. That's a given. That's just a given there. So what I'm considering today is just lift up and support the issue and let it be known that we need the water affordability plan. Right. That's what we're looking for, the water affordability. The water payment plan is not working. You can't make a payment on something when you have nothing. We need a water affordability plan, and we need to continue to stand together, all traditions, all religious traditions standing together and saying, this is something that's a human need. It's socioeconomic. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's socioeconomic. It's all about color and economics, and we know that. Thank you for having me here.
Just in time, like a Hanukkah miracle, we have the amazing Sylvia, our junior leader of People's Water Board Coalition and Michigan Welfare Rights Organization, who we've had the honor and pleasure of working with on People's Water Board for the past few years. Thank you so much, Sylvia, for being here.
I feel better on the ground. Oh my gosh, I'm so honored to be here. I can't tell you how much I really love and appreciate the work that Detroit Youth for Justice does and so many other folks. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the work of Detroit Youth for Justice and so many other folks of Jewish congregations and other communities here across Southeastern Michigan. You all are really making a fundamental difference. And I think you know this because we have been in this fight for so long in Detroit. Michigan Local Rights, we started with the water fight in the early 2000s, probably realistically in the late 1990s after welfare reform, and we knew it was going to come down, right? You put time limits on families, unrealistic time limits, and say, well, the government will provide for 5 or 6 years of assistance, but if you've got responsibility, a legal responsibility to care for a child for 18 years, and our governments and our companies don't do anything really to help you be able to protect your family, to provide for your family, then you're set up for failure. And we've seen this, how it's been played out with utilities and housing and medical care and child assistance, transportation, everything that impacts poor and low-income people is playing out. But I think that this fight on water has been a fundamental line in the sand. Yeah. So many folks have said, how can you control water? How can you dictate the terms on water for something that is non-negotiable for life, right? Like a lot of people will say, well, you can go without medical care, which is also ridiculous. But lots of other things that people sort of rationalize. But we know that the essence of life is water. And this is the amazing thing, is that folks like you who are also making the connection, you're saying that, look, this is about all of us, really. We're living with enormous contradictions here in the Great Lakes to say that we cannot provide clean, safe, affordable water for households, especially for low-income people. If we can't do this here in Michigan, where our very identity is shaped by the hand, right? And the water that surrounds us, we're in serious, deep trouble. So we know that what the work that we're doing here, the fight for justice, the call for human dignity that you all are helping to lead and to fight for, is being paid attention. I've talked to some folks when I had a chance to go out to some legal human rights events in New York, and there were some folks that from Puerto Rico, and they're like, we can't even tell you how much it matters what you all are doing in Michigan is impacting us in Puerto Rico, because they're having the same situation. They don't have clean, safe, affordable
Shout out
water.
to Puerto Rico.
The government is telling them they don't have a right to it, and especially because they're so far removed out they've got it even worse because there's no allies to really rally around them the way that we're fortunate to here. So thank you again for the work that you're doing, for the passion that you bring to this, and I'm so honored to be among you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sylvia and Reverend Roslyn, for grounding us in your words tonight and for your incredible work. Detroit Jews for Justice is nothing without our partners. You guys lead the way. Thank you so much for truly shining a light for us in all that we do. Now I want to invite up who's going to tell us about one thing we're doing here tonight that will have impacts beyond today.
So the rabbis teach, Jewish tradition teaches that the primary mitzvah of Hanukkah is Pirsumei Nisa, which means publicizing the miracle. It's why people have the custom of lighting menorahs. It's why certain organizations invest a lot of money in lighting very large menorahs for the love, the beautification of the mitzvah of publicizing the miracle of Hanukkah, which is, of course, that a bunch of ragtag rebels rallied against an empire that sought to erase them. And of course that thing with the oil happened too. There was a false scarcity narrative. We challenged it. That's right. And so, but Pirsumei Nisa doesn't just mean to publicize the miracle. This is actually pretty wild. It literally means to unfurl the banner. And so what we're doing tonight is not just rallying for our own sake, not just to edify ourselves, so that it's part of it, to celebrate together, but we are trying to send a message. We're trying to send a message to the government, we're trying to send a message to the mayor, we're trying to send a message to our Jewish community, both in the city and in the suburbs, that there is a large and growing core constituency of Jews who are demanding a water affordability bill. That's right. And an end to water shutoffs, and affordable, accessible water for all. And so what we're going to do in a few moments is all get together, unfurl our banner, we're going to paras our nes, we're going to do our Pirsumei Nisa together, and we're going to be taking pictures. And the thing is that to spread the impact, to publicize this, we're going to need to publicize this miracle, that we have more than just 1 million, more than just a handful of Jews who care about justice, that we are a growing and growing body of people, a growing movement. Yes. That's right. So where's our banner at? All right, so everyone, we're going to need to get the banner somewhere where we can all get behind it. We'll unfurl it here. Everyone, let's move back behind the banner. And the point is not to show this from the back, but the point is to show this to everyone who needs to hear it, to show it to the mayor, to tweet at him, to tag him, to let everyone who needs to hear it that the Jewish community stands for water justice. Water is a human right. Water is a human right. Water is a human right. Stop the shut-off. 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 What do we want? Affordable water. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Affordable water. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Affordable water. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Affordable water. When do we want it? Now. Somebody's turning off the water, and it's gone on for too long. Yes, it's gone on for too long. Yes, it's gone on for too long. Somebody's turning off the water, and it's gone on for too long. And we won't be silent. And the mayor is turning off the water. The mayor's turning off the water, and it's gone on for too long. Yes, it's gone on for too long. Yes, it's gone on for too long. The mayor's turning off the water, and it's gone on for too long. water. And next we privatize water, and it's gone on for too long. Yes, it's gone on for too long. Yes, it's gone on for too long. And next we privatize water, and it's gone on for too long. And we won't be silent anymore. We won't what? We won't what? And we won't be silent anymore. We won't what? And we won't be silent anymore.
Alright, folks. Regard as hear from the water going forward, writes a parody of a holiday song with a theme about water justice. So I'm going to invite up Alex Zeff to writing this song. You can find it in the right side of your orange insert. It may be familiar with it. Okay. Okay, quickly we're going to learn the chorus together. It's very familiar to all of most of us, I bet. We're going to sing, water, 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 it isn't human right. And when we take our water, you know we're about to fight. Oh, water, 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 it isn't human right. And when you take our water, you know we're about to fight. That doesn't seem to care. You have to solve the issue. Our rep is everywhere. Oh, water, 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 it isn't human right. And when you take our water, you know we're about to fight. Oh, water, 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 it isn't human right. And when you take our water, you know we're about to fight. We're not asking for water. Keep the water running. We're pumping if we can. Oh, water, 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 it isn't human right. And when you take our water, you know we're gonna bring it home. Water, 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 it isn't human right. And when you take our water, you know we're gonna fight. Water, 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 it isn't human right. And when you take our water, you know we're gonna fight. Okay, and now the really fun part. We're really publicizing the miracle now with a procession to downtown Synagogue where we can warm up and continue to build relationships in this work together. So your instructions are this. We're going to go through the ice rink to Woodward Avenue, walk all along Woodward Avenue and turn left on Clifford where downtown Synagogue is. Feel free to keep those cymballing and hand drums drumming and your signs out, and we'll meet you there.
Very good. God bless. Happy Hanukkah.
Watch out for the water.
What song are you singing? You sing a song? Light is returning.
Love, compassion, and listening. Justice shall pursue. Justice, justice shall pursue. Justice, justice shall pursue. How shall I pursue justice? How shall I pursue justice? Love, compassion, and listening. How shall I pursue justice?
That's a pretty general trend. Liberal Jewish groups are usually more women, Orthodox, more men. Men, at the end of the day, they're about even, but when you come to events, the Orthodox are either all men or predominantly men, unless there's special events for women, and the liberal events could even be majority women, which should be self-evident. Yeah, so really it was just Hanukkah. We celebrated Hanukkah, so it's attaching a liberal cause to the holiday, as opposed to Chabad kind of just made a festival out of it, entertainment and politicians and honoring the leaders of the community, whatever. So the liberal Jewish people celebrate the same holiday but want to connect it to water is one of the more important issues facing Detroiters, so I've been active, I followed it. Chances are anyone who knows much about Michigan, it's from the water and Flint issue. And unfortunately what's happening in Flint could be, you get the fire station honking out to the Jews. Shout out from Detroit Fire Department to the Jews for justice. Odd chance. You have a better organization, you could have better chants and songs coming. As it resorts to just kind of this generic chant. So if it was better prepared, we would have had songs. Okay, so we're almost at the synagogue. People see, the popular Detroit park that we were at.
Water justice!
This is the Detroit Institute of Music Education, right across from the synagogue. You'll see that Detroit Institute of Music Education. The synagogue's at the end of the street there.
When water rights are under attack, what do we do? When water rights are under attack, what do we do? What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When water rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up,
This woman's a Detroit public school teacher, active in educational issues. Okay, almost to the synagogue. Okay, almost at the synagogue. Happy Hanukkah. Right this way. Okay, in the synagogue now.
Oh, man.
Happy Hanukkah. What's the matter? Happy Hanukkah. Handful of donuts ready. Light the Hanukkah candles inside. You can put it here if you want. Yeah, if you want, you could. I don't know if you want to. You still got your lighter? Okay, I'm gonna keep on going until we get the Hanukkah candles lit. I don't even know if the rabbi of the synagogue's here for this event. But do you see right next to each other two very different ways of celebrating the same holiday? I was pretty happy with both events actually, relatively. I think both of either could have been things that would have meant the events go more smoothly or better, but relatively both very smooth, pleasant. Happy Hanukkah! Rabbi, sing a song. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah, Eva. Happy Hanukkah. I was streaming the whole time. I see they sing a song. Keep on streaming.
So everything we say is going on the internet as we say it?
As we see, there's even 5 people watching.
Oh, wow. Hello, 5 people. That's a little creepy.
Oh, nice to meet you. My name's Allie.
You get one with my phone too?
Buzzer go off. No one get the door. Happy Hanukkah. Most of these people here aren't regulars at the synagogue. But you will pack them in.
Take a picture.
It's all right.
Let's just take it.
Now we just have an excuse.
Happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah, Professor.
David, how are you?
Excellent.
Welcome.
Yep, tell the rabbi good job.
Thank you, I will.
You sing a few more songs?
Maybe we will. I got to recharge a little.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stick around and see if they sing a few more songs.
Fight, fight, fight!
Water is a human right.
Fight, fight, fight!
All right, so y'all had some really good voice notes out there. So great work marching, great work being here. Welcome to the but it's gonna be pretty lit. So first, I just want to thank Mel. Is Mel in the house? Can we get a wave and a clap for all the snacks? Thank you, Mel. And in addition to water being a human right, we also know that having access to a living wage and access to paid sick time are also human rights, and that this work is all connected. So in addition to working for water tonight, we're going to be doing a little legislative action to protect the recent legislation that raised the minimum wage to $12 an hour and required employers to offer earned sick time to their employees. So I'd be happy to give you like the bigger backstory if you want to come see me over here, but generally speaking, both of these initiatives were more than 400,000 Michigan voters for each initiative signed petitions to get these initiatives on the ballot. Through some bullshit, backhanded crap, Michigan legislature took them off the ballot and then passed these laws so that they could then gut them and retract them in lame duck, which, unsurprisingly,
they have done. So we're in a really, really urgent moment right now. The Senate has already passed 2 bills to completely gut and pull the bottom out on these laws, and we expect the House to take them up this week in Lansing. So we've got 3 opportunities for engagement. The first one is we've got some phone numbers of legislators who we think can be moved on this issue. You could give them a call and let them know that it's important to you. Second thing is we have an opportunity to write letters to Governor Snyder, who might actually have an opportunity to veto this law due to the constitutionality of this backhanded bullshit.
Snyder.
So, I believe that's the formal term for it. So, the best you can do is write to Governor Snyder and call these legislators. Let your people know that they can do the same. Feel free to snap a photo and text it to some friends. And then the last thing is that some of our community partners, including Time to Care, One Fair Wage, Southeast Michigan Jobs for Justice, and others, are gathering in Lansing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to both protest and attend committee hearings. And there's lots of roles and ways to be involved. So if you're someone that has some flexibility in the coming week and you're able to go to Lansing, there's an opportunity to sign up for those roles on the laptop here. And that's it. And I'll be around to answer your questions. And I hope you all will come by with a donut. Thanks.
Thank you, Haley. I'm going to say 4 things, and then it's time to party. Thing 1, if you were part of the Eliminating Water Justice Planning team and had anything to do with tonight, whether it was making art or writing a song, can you raise your hand? Thank you. This was a total experiment. It was our first year in our long 3-year history of Detroit Youth for Justice of not doing our Festival of Rights party and trying something different and praying with our feet this year. So thank you so much for being a part of that. And it was a really exciting experience for us all. Item 2, if you don't have a zine, please get one. It's now my time to embarrass Hannah Lewis, our incredible artist. We made these zines using research developed by the water team, Torah, etc. We hope that you'll treasure them and hold on to them and continue to use them to educate yourself on this issue. Item 3. Can you raise your hand if you've been part of developing the 8 Days of Water Justice social media campaign? So the action continues after today. If you haven't already, you can see in the orange insert in your zine a link to subscribe to daily emails with video content about water issues, links to the Hanukkah story, links to concrete actions that you can take to help with this issue. That's also a brand new thing that we're doing this year. The first video came out today, and it's really, really awesome stuff. That can also help you get more people in this room next year by forwarding that to 5 members of your congregation, tagging your friends on Facebook and Instagram, and making sure that more folks in our Jewish community are aware of this issue and that more of our policymakers know that a lot of Jews care about this issue. Thing 4, thank you Downtown Synagogue. Thank you again, Melanina, for the refreshments, and that's it. Mingle. Oh, one more thing. You raise your hand if you're just in if you're a leader in Detroit Youth for Justice. Cool. So, if you're not yet a leader in Detroit Youth for Justice, can folks raise their hands again? If you got your hands raised, look at somebody who doesn't. If you don't, look at somebody who does so you can connect, talk about our work on paid sick time and minimum wage legislation, water rights, transit rights, and so much more in coalition with incredible grassroots projects. Orientation. Do you want to say about orientation? No.
December 13th, you can learn about what we're doing if you don't know yet, and then learn more about BJJ and how you can plug in. That Mondry building, 6 p.m.
Yes. In your orange insert is the link to RSVP.
So that's another way you can get involved.
Get you oriented.
Great. Oh, that's what that is. All right.
Song.
A song.
Oh, water, 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 it is a human right. And when you take our water, you know we got to fight. Oh, water, 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 it is a human right. And when you take our water, you know we're bound to fight. We have a lovely city with resources stretched thin. And when our folks are thirsty, then nobody can win. Oh, water, 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 it is a human right. And when you take our water, you know we're bound to find.
Sisters, yes.
I think it's enough.
Thank you for that.
I'm a big, I want more song. I just sometimes am like, I sang a song. Yeah.
You going to Alma tonight?
No, is she here tonight?
It's an all-night event where she be going, starting now, we'll go all night. There'll be thousands of people lined up. Yeah, it's in the main room of the, same room where the Beth Yehuda dinner is at the Renaissance in the GM Center.
Oh, okay.
But if you're not busy tonight, it goes all night.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm probably going to go right over after this.
Cool. I've yet to be able to hug her.
I never wait in line. Like, I couldn't bring myself to wait in line to hug her. There's interesting, 'cause halakhically they said if you were strict about that,